Hello guys, we're going to get started here in just a second. Just going to share the link and such. Okay, just another second here and then we'll get going. Opening match is going to be Randy Orton and DDP. It's weird. Reddit's being weird. Hmm. Interesting. Sorry, it's taking an extra minute. Just having some slight. Reddit's just being weird. shoot. Well. All right, let's. Oh well, we're just gonna run with it. All right, opening match: Randy Orton and DDP. Sorry it took extra few minutes. Reddit was being weird. All right. Unlike the last few primetime episodes, we actually got other refs that's going to be partaking here in, because for this stuff we're just going to use random refs or whatever. Or if people wanted to request specific refs, that certainly is a thing too. Cokehead Carl will be used randomly as well. Even during the show we might switch refs, so it just one of those things. DDP and Orton, okay. There he is. All right, let's get it going here.
It's me. It's DDP. Bang! Bang!
Finally got it shared. Hi, Fear. How you doing?
Fight.
All right, after this match, we got another rematch. I'm doing good, doing good. For this, we got another rematch. Surfer Sting is going against HBK again with Sherry at ringside. After that, we got a tag match. The LOD, the Legion of Doom, is going to fight the Mega Powers. Then we move on to the top 12 match, the top 12 wrestler matches. The first one is going to be Shamrock and Edge are going to be fighting. Then after that, there was a scuffle backstage while Chono and Vader, while they're eating steak and potatoes, they got an argument on who was the best Japanese, best wrestler from Japan. Even though Vader's not from Japan, he still thinks he was the best wrestler there. They almost got in a scuffle until security stopped them, and now they're going to have a match here in the semi-main event to duke it out. And then the main event, we have Mike Awesome challenging Rick Rude for the LLW Championship. It's going to be pretty intense. Rick Rude has defied a lot of odds to keep that title, but Mike Awesome's no slouch. It's going to take a lot of work and effort to retain against him. Ooh! Powerbomb Diamond Cutter.
1,
Angle Slam Lance him out of the ring.
1, 2.
Aha! Little RKO right there.
1, 2.
Diamond Clash.
Bang!
Oh, a Diamond Bomb.
2.
Ooh, Hangman DDT. Oh, Diamond Cutter.
1, 2.
Ooh. Oh, he gets suplexed out of the ring. Double axe handle the outside.
5,
Sit out neck breaker.
7, 10 minutes gone.
A Diamond Cutter. Oh my god, he just got criticaled.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Unfortunately, there's a tiny little glitch in the game where if wrestlers are fighting outside and if one of them criticals the other guy won't go back in the ring. So even though on paper it's a draw, I think it's safe to assume that DDP won that one. That's interesting because Orton won their first encounter. Also, I got for LLW people, I'm adding a new category for roster stuff. So if if a wrestler gets requested 3 times, they will be booked to face one of the top 12 wrestlers to get a spot at the top 12. If they lose that, they'll be put into a special roster called the Fan Favorites roster. And pretty much what that will be is it'll be wrestlers that request frequently. That have been requested frequently, and I'll use them for specific events that may or may not evolve more than the top 12 or something along those lines, and or if there's a need for more matches for a specific event and there's not enough time to get match requests, I'll just dip into the pool of fan favorite wrestlers and we'll throw them in there. That way, I mean, they won't be used as often as the top 12 guys, but it's a good place for some specific circumstances as such. So that's something to keep in mind there going forward. Next up, we got a familiar matchup here. Surfer Sting and HBK. Martel will be at ringside here. Let's see. Also, Fear. I don't know if you caught my text. The last World Tour episode was okay. It was okay with it because I didn't catch it myself or whatever. But for World Tour events, you'll have to use your wrestlers who are in your major roster. You can't use wrestlers that are in the minors. So if you do want to use Cody Rhodes a lot more often, for lots of stuff, you probably are going to want to bring him to the main roster on your promotion at some point. It will cost 20 popularity points, but if you intend on using him a lot, especially in your own shows, it might save you some popularity points in the long run because every time you have a minor league wrestler appear on your main show, it costs you 6 popularity points per wrestler. So that goes against the budget. That's just something to keep in mind if you think about using Cody Rhodes more than the usual for a minor league appearance. All right. And then nope, not a wrestler. It's not handicap. Man, where was Sherry at? She's gonna be... Man, I gotta do more division here with these. It's gonna be a minute to find Sherry Martel. Was she... Oh, wait, no. She's not. She's in HWH. Yeah, because you did... Because typically for... When you do a major promotion show, that costs 15 popularity points. And since you used Cody and Vader, that added another 12 to it. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, fuck. Sorry, there was a little buffer there. Now, having said all that, there's a chance in the future I may make adjustments to cost depending on, because when I made all these new adjustments, it was with the idea that I wasn't sure how people would spend popularity points. So that's something to keep in mind there. But yeah, that's what kind of added to it. All right, we'll stick with Nick Patrick here. No problem. It's a new system. I mean, it's growing pains. I mean, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I mean, it's tough when you're starting out with a new roster because you don't have a ton of wrestlers, so getting good matchups can be tricky sometimes. So typically with the first season, I forgive those kind of things. Okay, first time out for some stuff, but man, I gotta adjust the logo for that. It's too low. I mean, technically it's within the thing, but it's just too low. I gotta move it up when I get a chance. But the good news is you're not in a negative anymore, because during the World Tour event, Eli his match went below 70, and during World Tour events, if a promotion has a match go below 70, they lose 20 popularity points, and they are given to the promotion that's currently in last place, or if that promotion is in last place, the one just above them, and that was your promotion because you're a -4, so you actually have positive 16 now. Yeah, positive 16 now. So you're not in the negative anymore. Yeah, I mean it. Yeah, you definitely don't want matches to go below 70, especially during the World Tour events, because those will cost you popularity points. So that's why it's important to like do a lot of little things when you book stuff like rivalries and stuff that can get you a little extra in the long run. Because despite like how tested some matchups can be, like any matchup can have a bad match sometimes. Like, me and DPS, we did an interpromotional rivalry with Bret Hart and Steve Austin, like a best-of-9 series. In one match, most of the matches were great, but there was one match where Bret Hart beat Stone Cold with a reverse corner roll-up, and the match got like 53 or 56 or something. It was terrible. So it does happen sometimes.
Give up. Give up.
Oh, Tombstone.
Give up. Give up. Give up.
Goes back to working that arm.
Give up. Give up.
Yeah, this second match, the first one, DDP criticaled Orton at outside with his diamond cutter. Technically, the match was considered a draw because the game has a glitch thing where if a wrestler and another wrestler are fighting outside, if one of them criticals the other wrestler won't get back in the ring to avoid the countout. Okay, whenever you can. I'm probably pretty soon I'm gonna ask reps for the next World Tour event. So the next World Tour event's gonna be different. It's gonna be a tournament. And the winner will get a free pay-per-view that'll also host a free 10-match pay-per-view that'll also host the TWN Legacy Lottery match. So that's something to keep in mind there. Each promotion will get 2 reps. Eli's XAW will not partake because they currently have the champion at the moment. So they won't partake, of course. So each promotion, the other 4 will get 2 reps each. Oh, the Deathlock! Right in front of Sherry, too.
One, two.
Roll up.
1, 2.
Ooh, almost had him. Nice drop kick. Going up top. Big elbow. Pile driver. Oh, sweet chin music cover.
1, 2, 3.
Oh ho! HBK with the win. Also, Sabier, I made this announcement earlier, but you weren't in yet. But going forward, if a wrestler gets requested 3 times for LLW events, they will get a shot against a member of the top 12 to become one of the top 12 wrestler group. Those guys get actual booking and stuff. That's what the second half of the streams are. If they lose, though, they will go to a special section called fan favorites, and those wrestlers will be reserved for like special events that may require more than the top 12 guys and / or other future stuff and whatever. Or if there's events where if we're kind of some matches short or some reason there's not enough match requests, then I'll dip into those fan favorites and we'll feature them a bit. So that's something to keep in mind there. So even if your guy doesn't make it at the 12-12 at first, they'll be in something until maybe one day if they do. I mean, keep in mind that if you want your guy in the top 12, all you have to do is request a matchup against one of the top 12, and if they win, they get in. So it's not something that's capped necessarily. All it takes is just requesting it. Next up, some tag action. Legion of Doom versus the Mega Powers. Let's see. Yeah, because the top 12, which was determined by the big Legends League event, those guys I kind of book long term with the last 3 matches of the show, and I kind of do some loose story stuff in the belt and all that stuff. But if they get requested or someone a wrestler appears 3 times, a new wrestler can take a place in it. It's already happened once. Sabu lost a spot to Al Snow in a match request, so there is precedence there. Yeah, LOD. And then Mega Powers. All right, so they're both under. I want to say. Yeah, I believe should be Hulk Hogan should be. There he is. So, for example, like tonight, because HBK and Sting, the Surfer Sting, that was their 3rd match. So both of them, at the next Primetime event, they'll get top 12 opportunities against a random member of the top 12. Or if certain members get requested to face them, like for example, let's say someone says, "Hey, for that top 12 opportunity, have Surfer Sting go against Drew McIntyre, for example," or something like that. If nothing like that happens, then I just do it randomly. All right. Who? Oh yeah. Macho Man. All right, 30. All right, let's see how it goes. Sorry guys, the stream got cut out. I assume either Wi-Fi or the PlayStation Network bullshit, so. But it is what it is. We're gonna resume here. As usual, there will be the 2 video, this part 1 and part 2 here will be combined as one video, ASAP. Expect that video to probably be out. I'm gonna try tomorrow. I will say I did have some. The internet was being a tiny bit funky before I started streaming, but I did get it set eventually. So I don't know. PlayStation, and plus sometimes PlayStation Network just likes to be, uncooperative. That is also a factor there too sometimes. Hey, Gray Man, how you doing? Just in time for part 2. The stream cut out the first 2 matches. DDP criticaled Randy Orton outside. I gave him the win, but they were counted out because of the glitch where if a guy gets critical, the other guy doesn't go back in. HBK beats Surfer Sting in the second one. We were just about to do this one here. I hate it when the stream cuts out happens when everyone's just coming in, because when it cuts out, people think, oh, that's it or whatever. And then, they don't come back because YouTube doesn't notify them. So then it's just frustrating sometimes. But yeah, how's that going with Raw? All right. I'll give it a second here for some people to be able to catch up. I mean, be able to see and come back in, because there was a lot of people coming in just when the stream cut out. But oh, that's good. I was wondering, yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of cuts in WWE last couple days, and to be honest, I'm not surprised. Just because, I don't know, I just think the thing with WWE is they found a way to have 3 shows and another one, a developmental one on the way, and found a way to have all those shows, but at the same time not need a big roster to do them. Yeah, that is true. Like, for example, like I feel like with the way they book the storylines and the long tournaments of title reigns and stuff, I feel like you really only need like 18, 20 people per show, and go from there. And then when storylines run down, like do like a switch of a roster. Yeah, and then they cut him. And it's well, I heard rumors. I don't know if they're true. Keep that in mind. But I heard rumors that they buried him because apparently he was trying to like get with Tiffany, who's dating Kaiser in real life. So yeah, there's something. There was some reasoning behind that, unfortunately, and it sucks because. Well, it sucks because because all those tag teams were doing great stuff when the Usos were hoarding those tag titles, and they never got anything with. So we're never gonna get like true Imperium. That's the sucky part, because I don't think they'll ever hire Giovanni back up. I find it weird that they still have Kaiser and Gunther like still associated with each other as Imperium, because Imperium was always a 3-man group, and if you don't have Giovanni, why freaking bother? Just have it fully broke up and just let them do their own thing. But Gray Man, I said this a couple times in part 1 of the stream, but a change coming up for LLW stuff is if a wrestler gets requested 3 times, they'll get an opportunity to take a spot in the top 12 group from the wrestler already in there, either if they get requested to face a specific person or if they get put against that person at random. If they lose that match, they'll go into a category called fan favorites, and that special group will be reserved for like special events that may or may not need more than the top 12 for action, or other special events, or if I'm trying to think what else was there. Yeah, more than like events that require more than the top 12. Or if like we're doing events and we're running short on match requests or whatever, and I can just dip in that pool and put some of them in there to fill it out a bit. So far, Surfer Sting and HBK will be in lined up to take opportunities next Primetime event. In addition, the Contenders Tournament is going to be taking place soon. The first of 4 that I have planned. They're going to be 16-man tournaments. They're going to feature guys that were in line to be part of the Legends League event, but they had to be cut due to ill booking on my part. So they will trying to think. So that'll be that event will also be 2 streams. It won't be 1. So that's something to keep in mind there. I'll probably do those. It's hard to say because I'll talk more about streaming schedule toward the end of this stream, but a change of plans for tomorrow. I don't believe there will be a stream tomorrow. I don't believe so. Wednesday there might be, depending on the day. Thursday, same kind of deal. It'll be seen. My goal is at the very minimum Wednesday to do that 750 sub celebration video because it was voted to have the stream. It was pretty much voted to have the stream be 989 hockey games, NHL Face-Off / the Gretzky games. Have them be a request string where the games that can be requested are the games in that series. So that's something to keep in mind there. That's probably going to be what... Oh, that elbow. That's probably what's going to be the thing for that. For Wednesday. But that'll be the next thing I'm going to shoot for because for TWN stuff, outside of the World Tour event I got planned soon, there's not really anything else booked. And Here Comes the Pain thing's a possibility, but that's like 2 hours long. So I might reserve that on a day where I have more time on my hands. So that I don't know if that'll be a Wednesday thing. So, it's something that'll be kind of conditional here. So we'll see. But who knows? Maybe I might stream early Tuesday. It's hard to say, but that's kind of what it's looking at. I'll talk more about that toward the end of the stream. Tag made to Hawk. Sidewalk slam. Face rake. Power bomb. Cover.
1, 2, yeah!
Pile driver. Lariat. Tag made. Miller Gorilla Press. Goes for a cover this time. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting because I'm surprised they did all these like trades with the draft gonna be coming up soon, Axe Bomber. But in all honesty, like I said, with the way they book stuff now, they're probably like, okay, we've done all the story stuff we can on Raw for McIntyre, so we gotta put him on SmackDown to do some stuff. Like it feels like the shows don't really deal with rosters; they deal with stories. Like, okay, we got room for like 3 or 4 stories, so we'll do this amount of wrestlers, and everyone else will just be filler if there's filler. And that seems like what it is more than anything. So, like, oh, Spike pile driver, oh. Tossed out of the ring.
1, 2,
Ooh, powerbomb on Hogan.
4, 5,
Oh, he's dazed. Oh, chair in the back.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Boot. Leg drop. Cover. Not enough. Oh, the neck breaker. Oh, no. Oh.
20 minutes gone.
Come on!
Portable Doomsday. Grand Sleeper. Oh, Savage taps. The LOD get the win.
Come on!
No worries. 100, jeez. Yeah, and but the trick with their stories though is that they which is unique around this time period because it hasn't really been in the past. They seem to be mostly title driven. Yeah, and it kind of makes you wonder like and again, it's like I said, it's like WWE has somehow found a way to have all these like the 3 shows and then Evolve coming to Tubi. And they found a way to have all these shows and all this screen time, but yet for somehow they found a way to need very few wrestlers for those shows. Like they got those shows are like 3 to 4 hours or 2 for NXT or whatever. And they only have 4 to 5-ish matches and feature 20, 22 people on average per show, roughly. And somehow they found a way to make, although for the most part, all the titles justifiable to have and everything. And it's crazy to me because it's like, this shouldn't work. And in some ways it doesn't, but in other ways it does. It's just a weird way of like going about booking stuff, but it works. But I think in order for it to stay working, I think you need to juggle stuff well, and I think it's hard to juggle stuff well when certain wrestlers have to not have anything to do for stretches of time. Yeah, juice. Yeah, they did run out of juice. Yeah, that's what happened. They ran out of juice. They had to stop using it when the trial came up. Next up, now we're in the matches featuring the top 12 guys. First one is Edge versus Shamrock. Yeah, because how many people are in per show? Like, how many guys do they have per show at this point? I know there's a site somewhere that has it. Yeah, because... let's see how it goes here. I'll do some digging here. gotta adjust that logo for that section there. So currently, they have 234. I'm gonna count here. So I'm counting like women and men. I'm not gonna count people that are currently hurt because it doesn't really affect things at the moment.
Fight.
So currently, excluding guys that are hurt, Raw has 44 guys. On SmackDown, now, SmackDown technically has 47, however, they have quite a few guys that they label as off TV. Like, all of the Wyatt 6 they label as off TV. Same thing with Roman Reigns and Randy Orton. So, if you do that, then it's a little less. Like, 7 or 8-ish less. And then on NXT... So, NXT technically has 69, but they also have quite a few guys that are labeled written off TV, so it's probably going to be more in like 70s, maybe 80, exactly 80, maybe. Oh, Shamrock gets a quick win, makes a fool out of Edge. So for those who have rejoined the stream, this in part 1, when it was cut off, they will be combined into one video and released ASAP, probably expected tomorrow. So if you're looking to see the whole event, it will be out hopefully tomorrow. Next up, we got the semi-main event, Masahiro Chono and Vader fighting here due to some backstage arguments about who's the best wrestler in Japan. It was during a steak and potatoes dinner. And then they threw literal potatoes at each other when they really got heated. So, yeah, the factions in the stables make it feel bigger. But here's the thing, like all those like yeah. Yeah. Yeah, even though Vader's not from Japan, he still thinks he's the best wrestler from Japan. So So yeah, so that's what we're gonna be doing here. Let's see. I gotta. So Vader. Let's see where is. I gotta up. There's some models I have that are on the older side from when I first started TWN. They're not as polished as the newer ones, and sometimes I'm able to polish them up a bit. Vader's one of them that I need to do because he's an older one. No, not Lioness. No. Oh wait, I gotta go here. Yeah. Chono is yeah, HWH because I drafted him. All right, let's see how it goes. And literal potatoes, yeah. But yeah, but they have like 40 to 50 guys on Raw and SmackDown, but it feels like they only use 20 to 26 of them every 3 to 4 months at a time, you know? And then you got the other half just kind of either getting filler matches sometimes, or they're part of big groups where they share screen time. I mean, I feel like they found, like I said, they found a way to justify having all those long ass shows and everything in huge rosters without actually using their whole rosters very super well to fight. Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, because technically with the shows they have and the rosters they have, they really should be doing a lot more than 4 to 5 matches. They really should be doing. Yeah, 10 is more. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah, and that's the thing. I originally because a while ago, WWE really started doing a lot of factions, and I was all for it. But the problem is they don't book them into anything. You know, they don't go after titles. They don't really do anything to get like trophies or anything of, you know, of a mark. They just feud with other factions for a couple months and then they disappear, you know, or they just hang around. There's not really a lot of, you know, stuff happening. And that's the problem. I think that's the biggest problem with the Wyatt Six. And this is kind of, and I know I hate saying this because of the whole thing with Bray, but people forget, before all that happened with Bray, like towards like the end of his final run, his stuff it wasn't going over very well. Like, people were starting to get kind of impatient with it. And it's kind of a similar story here because the intrigue is all there, but they don't move stuff forward. They just kind of sit on it too long. And I don't know why that is. I'm sure there's a gajillion reasons why they do that with that stuff. And I'm sure playing them is justifiable, but it doesn't look good from the viewer perspective. And it makes me nervous when they're sitting on the Wyatt Six like that. And I know they like having those kind of wrestlers be like more story-driven than title-driven. But at the end of the day, if you're going to form a faction, you should be going after the goal. That's the way I feel about it. You don't form a faction just to have a bunch of people around you just for shits and giggles. It's for a purpose. Like, that's the way I feel about it. I feel like it's very rare for tag teams and stables to work like cohesively and very over without some title chasing involved. Like, there's a few examples, like Billy and Chuck was great. Like, even though the Outsiders won a gajillion tag titles, like, they could work great as their own because they're, you know, hilarious and, like, you know, everything. Yeah, exactly.
One, two.
Well, yeah, and it's like...
Whoa.
It's just, for me, it just feels like, and I hate dumping on WWE like that because they're still miles ahead of AEW right now, in my opinion. But, oh, powerbomb. Shono better do some stuff here. But it's just, in my opinion, I just believe that I'd rather have them just cut their rosters down to guys that they use for a few months and go from there. Or better yet, treat NXT like a legit third brand and have Evolve be the actual developmental brand. Because I think they're at a point with all the people they have and everything where I legit feel like only having like 2 main brands is not the best route to go. I'm not sure. I'm unfamiliar with the other 2 Musketeers' work a little bit. It's hard to say. I'm more familiar with the 4 Pillars than the 3 Musketeers. Oh, dodges that Yakuza kick, goes for a powerbomb.
10 minutes.
Chono is held in pretty high regard overall. Like, his best work, though, was when he was, like, led NWO Japan. Because NWO Japan was really over in Japan for a long time. It goes for the STF. But he's held pretty high up there. But the 4 Pillars are held very, very high. And those 4 Pillars are, like, Kenta Kobashi, Masawa. The other 2 I can't remember for the life of me. I think, let me look it up. I can look it up. Oh, Cradle Pile Driver. Oh, he makes him tap. Look at that. Chono gets the final word. '87, nice, solid match there. Now for the main event here. So here are the 4 pillars. There's Misawa Kobashi, Toshika Kawada, and Akira 2. I think that's how you pronounce their names. Someone did a great Reddit post on all 4 of them. AEW, that was the top one, yeah. Kawada's held pretty high too. A lot of people out of the 4, a lot of people consider Akira kind of technically the weakest link, quote unquote, of the 4, but he still held pretty high too, not by a lot. Like still held pretty high too. There is a 5th guy that, even though he's technically not a part of the pillars, a lot of people consider him pretty close. Yeah, because the Pillars prime was like in the 90s, like very late 80s throughout the 90s. I'm gonna see here. Jun Akiyama. He was the guy that invented the exploder suplex and variations of it. One of the top things when I looked it up, it said someone commented on Cage Match, said Akiyama is the 5th pillar, and honestly I put him over Akira Tao. His matches the rest of the pillars were amazing, and he always put on great matches in AGPW and Noah. Although he's in his 50s, he can still have amazing showings against people like Eddie Kingston, Bryan Danielson, and many others. No problem. But yeah, a lot of people consider him pretty close to one of them. He was very close. But I think he was also, compared to the other 4, a lot younger than the other 4. So that was probably a thing too. Let me double check. Let's see. He was born... He started wrestling in 92. Let me look. 92, I'm gonna look up the other ones when they started here quickly, very quickly here, just as a comparison. Misawa started in the early 80s, like 81 or 81 to 82. Kobashi started in 88. So he was a little bit younger. Kawada gonna set this up while it's loading. Oh man, I've been doing the wrong time limits in this whole episode. I've been doing the TWN time limits and not the frickin' LLW time limits. My bad. Because singles are supposed to be 30, and then everything else is 60, no matter titles or anything. Kawada started in 82 to 83, so he was definitely there. And then Akira, yeah. I mean, still had great matches, though, so can't complain too much. And after all, this is kind of... I consider this kind of more on the loose side, so I'm not too upset about that, but... I'm just a little out of practice a little bit, because it's been a minute since we've done one of these. Akira started in 88. So the four pillars, all four of them either started 81, 82, or in 88. The fifth pillar, he started in 92, so he was like younger than the other four. Some by half of them by like 3 to 5 years roughly. The other ones by like almost a decade. So yeah, I see why he was kind of considered the fifth pillar loosely because of the age difference and the fact that he didn't really start wrestling till the four pillar guys were already like pretty active, because the four pillars were the four pillars throughout the 90s period, and even the little bit of the late 80s too. While Akira, I don't think he really like went up there until like, I would dare say like mid to late 90s, so he was a little late to the party as well. But this, keep in mind, this is all estimation. I don't have I'm just doing from very loose research and guesswork. But yeah, Rick Rude and Mike Austin for the LLW Championship. Let's see how it goes here. All right, let's see how it goes.
Come on!
He's simply ravishing.
I forgot his entrance thing. Nice. And I know when Raw moved to Netflix, I know a lot of people are expecting it to be a lot more adult, and it wasn't quite that. But I think them being able to do the blood stuff without worry about violating some stupid contract or network shit, I think that's the big selling point there, because I get it. I mean, even though they don't have the contract limitations, they still appeal to a certain audience. They can't go like that crazy, but I think the ability to go crazy at certain points, I think is, without consequence, I think is nice. I don't think it's something they should force. Like if someone's fighting and they happen to bleed, they shouldn't have to blur it out or cut to a gajillion different angles to avoid it. Well, I mean, But the thing, I don't mind blood in wrestling stuff because I feel like, I mean, I'm not saying that it's required all the time. Hell, even most I know a lot of people critique WWE hardcore matches for not having a lot of blood, but in all honesty, I mean, if you really think about the stuff they're doing to each other, how many of those kind of attacks yield to blood? You know? Like, if you're getting a chair shot on the back, you're gonna get bruised as hell, but you're not gonna bleed. Or something like that. Like, I think there's only certain weapons that can actually make you actually bleed, like a kendo stick or something like that. You probably mostly just get bruised up. Yes, I remember the knee. That was a massive knee shot. Yeah. Oh, we got interference. It looks like Jay Lethal's coming down to help out Rick Rude. Oh, right in the ropes, though. That's not gonna stick. Awesome splash. Avoided. I don't know. I know for a while before Liv turned heel, she was kind of riding a hardcore gimmick a little bit, so I don't know. Back suplex.
Come on!
DDT. Roll up. Is it enough? No, it's not. Only two there. Oh, he's going for the Rude Awakening.
1, 2.
Only two. Rick Rude has held on to this title since he won it at the event. If you dare to say Mike Austin's probably the most challenging challenger, despite the triple threat match he had to defend the belt against the last Primetime episode. Pile driver. Oh, and he makes Mike Awesome tap. Yeah, well, HBK and Surfer Sting, they'll get their matches. Now, the question is, since if you have a preference, you can request them to face specific people if you prefer that. But here's who the top 12 are right now, just to give you an idea of who they could face. Those are Rick Rude, the current champion, Christian, Edge, Al Snow, Vader, McIntyre, Jay Briscoe, Christopher Daniels, Jerry Lynn, Mike Awesome, Masahiro Chono, and Ken Shamrock. So far, the Sabu's the only former member. He lost to Al Snow, his place to Al Snow, so that's the only time we've had a change so far. So, if you want to see them face against any of those 12, okay, I'll book that. I'll have HBK versus Rude for that title. That'll main event the next Primetime episode. You have any specifics for Surfer Sting? 'Cause I know you requested him a lot too. Or you just want to leave that up to random? Random? Okay. No prob. Alright, that'll make the next Primetime episode interesting. I'll probably... Because I was originally going to do the Contenders Tournament before I do the next Primetime episode, but I might do the next one before then. We'll see, because I do have some match requests lined up. So here's a sneak peek at the next episode. Now, typically with these episodes, I like to do... If there's time, I like to... If people want to see some extra matches, do extra matches. I'm not going to do it this time around because the stream was split due to connection issues, and I don't want to make it longer than necessary. So that'll probably be the thing going forward. If the stream gets split, I'll probably not do match requests, but I like to do them when I can. So next match request. 2 of the 3 spots are filled. We have an extra spot for anyone looking to put another match in. Eddie Guerrero and Owen Hart is one of them that'll open next Primetime episode. Also, Andre the Giant will face a 3-man faction in a handicap match. Probably going to be Kai and Tai because Alpha Academy's not fully ported over, and LWO, there's not. Even Classic and New, they're not fully ported over either, so probably going to be Kai and Tai. So those were the 2 to expect there of the 3. So if there's an additional match request at any point for any wrestlers, any title, or whatever, let me know, and that will be on the card. But, yeah. But yeah, that's going to be the plan there. Now, but yeah, in terms of streaming schedule, so there might be something tomorrow. I'm not sure. Well, very low chance. Odds are there won't be anything tomorrow, so keep that in mind. If there is something, it's going to be very early in the day. But I'm not sure at the moment. Wednesday. The main event of the next episode will be HBK versus Rick Rude. Technically with matches, typically top 12 steel matches, I like to put them in the match request section technically, but since this is for the title, I'm going to have it main event. That's really the only exception to that because it's for the title. I mean, it has to main event. Unless we add other titles in the future, then that can change things. But yeah. Those 3 matches, like the 2 match requests and that are guaranteed. We still got room for 1 more match request. I don't know when that episode is gonna be. So keep that in mind. But yeah, Wednesday, I want to do that 750 sub celebration video stream. I don't know when it's going to be, and there's a chance I might not do it that day. So we'll have to see how things go. If I do it that day, it's going to either be late afternoon or early evening. It won't be any later than that if I do it. Thursday, I imagine there'll definitely be a stream, but it's hard to say. Friday and Saturday, they won't be streams because I'll be working. So then Sunday. So things that to expect coming up overall. The final Here Comes the Pain episode for the current run is going to be coming up soon. TWNY's the next World Tour event. Got to get reps for that tournament. That's the only thing unless someone books something. LLW stuff, next episode of Primetime in that Contenders Tournament, that's the next one's there. And that's kind of what to expect. Like I said earlier, there is a part 1 to the stream because the internet was cut off during the stream and happens sometimes. Now, when it happens, not for all events, but for most of them, depending on the event, I combine them as one video off screen and then re-release it as one video. So expect that sometime tomorrow, hopefully. So if you want to see the whole event without the cuts or whatever, that'll be available. But yeah, outside of all that, if you do have match requests and you want to partake in LLW, you can request them in the comic section, the post section, or the Discord channel that we have, the Campy Discord channel. So anywhere, they could be any wrestler for any title, anything. Let your imagination run wild. Um, and and yeah, that's all I can think of for the moment. Thanks for watching, guys. In case you guys wanted to chat with anyone at the Campy Company, you didn't want to use the YouTube comment section, we do have a couple options. First one is we have a Discord channel. You can find a link to that in the About page / About section of our channel. We also have a community tab on our channel as well. You can access that anywhere at any time. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.